Hello, I'm Karen Kahn, and today I'll be speaking with Emerson Knowles, who is a Senior Vice President at Merrill Lynch and Company, Incorporated. We'll discover how Emerson is helping clients achieve success in wealth. Emerson, thank you for joining us on Success and Wealth.
You're very welcome.
All of us are interested in being successful with our wealth. So what are you seeing your clients do these days?
Well, it's actually a real challenge these days because of the distraction. You put on the news, you want to take an antidepressant, you put on a business show and your eyes glaze over, the confusion, the distraction, the world's going to end tomorrow. I think they've predicted it several dozen times in the last year or two. And so it really makes you shy away, and it really saddens me that most Americans spend more time planning a two-day vacation over the weekend than they do for their 30-year vacation at the end of their lives. Mm-hmm. And so we're not paying the attention we should.
So how do you think people should be dealing in these areas?
Well, basically, first of all, you have to commit the time. And what we tend to do is, well, it's here, we not look at it. Well, that generates a whole series of mistakes in the sense that you may have good investments that might do something, but it won't take you where you want to go. Or heaven forbid, you don't have the investments that make sense and they don't work. State plans aren't intact. Maybe you're paying too much in personal income tax. Maybe at the end of life, the institutions, the family you believe in don't get it. We see all the time very capable people not getting to where they want because it's complicated, it's boring, and they take it for granted that, well, my advisor, my lawyer, he knows me. Well, that's the most dangerous thing you can ever do.
So how do people get started on the right path?
Well, what we like to do is have people come in for what we call their second opinion. And so they come in and sit down with us with their little stack of statements, and they often are quite surprised that the little stack sits there right on the right, and we don't talk to them about it first. First, we have to really sit down and establish what is it you want with the bounty and savings you have. What are your intentions for the future? And we really spend most of our time trying to figure out where you want to go, what's important to you, the family you serve, the institutions that you believe in. Once we establish where they want to go with it, then you can, in an integrated manner, approach what are the best avenues to take to bring you to those dreams you hold so dear. Once you establish those, then you can take an objective view at where you are and say, well, maybe you are in the right place, maybe you aren't. But you can't until you establish what your true goals are and then take that hard look.
You know, I can see that this all really matters to you, and I was just wondering, why are you so passionate about these topics?
Oh, I'll tell you, I'm the luckiest man on earth to be in the seat that I am. The dedication we have, it probably sums up best in this little story, is that last summer, a family came out, watched a tennis match with us. Doug came out with his 3 kids, and they introduced me, oh, Mr. Knowles, you know, away it goes. And I reflected back 34 years ago when I went into his mom and dad's house, and Bill said, Tom, Doug, come on over. And it was, hello, Mr. Knowles, would you please meet Mr. Knowles? Mm-hmm. And so we got him through college, we got him married, helped him with our first homes. God rest his soul, Bill passed away. We took care of, his mother. And 34 years later, I'm sitting with his children. There's nothing of a driver to commit your excellence more than seeing the difference you can make for families all along the way. And then 11 years ago, I got my lesson for how important that support was. When I walked in the door of my home and I found my wife on the floor. She'd suffered a massive stroke. I didn't understand at the time, but she was paralyzed on one side. She couldn't see. She was speaking gibberish. And I can say I rode in the ambulance, to the hospital. The siren is screaming. And as you look down in the eyes of the one you love through the little plastic mask, and you feel their fear, and you're thinking, is my wife going to die today? For the next several months in the hospital, I can say I didn't see the office very much as we got her past that critical point, and she did survive, thankfully. instead of my clients recoiling at my lack of presence, they leaned into giving back to us the care, support, and help that we so needed at that moment. And it really anchored to me, and now infused in my entire team, the importance of just understanding the practical nature of a disciplined plan, but being there when people need you most. When a crisis happens, how that small step forward makes a huge difference when your life is challenged. And that is a lesson that I learned so well, and is now the culture of what we serve to everyone.
Wow. So, what would you recommend is the first step people should take?
Well, the first step they really need to take goes back to what I shared with you before, which is you seek out the independently minded advisor. And most importantly, be sure that advisor understands truly what you wish for yourself, your family, in the things you believe and love. Because only then can they objectively know, are your investments the right place? What we see over and over and over again is someone who's known an advisor for 10, 20 years. Oh, I don't have to talk to so-and-so, he knows me. Well, maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Taking it for granted that somebody really knows what you care about is a huge risk. And so you need to take the time to talk with someone like us, where we can really take the time to know you and then understand if you're doing the right thing for your own future.
So appreciate you sharing with us.
It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you.
And thank you for watching Success in Wealth.